How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy Friday. It's the end of the week.
Yeah. Happy. Well, yeah. Friday. I guess it's Friday and Saturday at the same time where I'm at. But anyway, that doesn't matter.
How
Whew.
are you? How are you doing?
I am all right. I am so happy that this is finally happening. It has been a mission and a half.
Mission impossible. But we're here. We jumped out the airplane. We're parachuting down. We're about to land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still haven't taken off my mask. Still need to take off the mask.
I know. We're both without the mask. We're at home. What are you talking about? Wait, okay, so if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Ah, if I was a superhero, who would I be? Probably Spider-Man. Probably Spider-Man.
That's a good one.
Right now.
Why
Yeah,
Spider-Man though?
probably. I just always liked his powers. I always liked the idea of being able to flip around and swing across the city and all of that stuff. Like Black Panther is really, really cool, but honestly speaking, I would probably want to be a Spider-Man. Like I probably just want to like be crawling on walls and stuff.
I know he's so swaggy. Like even back then, he's like swaggy. He has the quips. He's got the weapons. He's got
Yeah,
the girls. Oh,
yeah. He got a lot of girls after that spider.
that's what I did
that's
like about him. I liked that about him when I was growing up. I'm like, dang, at least Bruce
that spider
Wayne.
injected him with swag.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
But I mean, he
hold
settled
on.
down with Mary Jane, so
He
yeah,
settled down,
take
right?
it. You know.
He settled
Yeah,
down.
he did. I mean, he did. All right. I want to bring down the chat because I like to see your face a little bit more clearly, but it doesn't look like it's allowing
Speaking
me to
of
do
face,
that.
like we get half your face.
Oh, Peter Parker or Miles Morales? I don't know. I'm OG. I'm OG. I like my OG.
Me
Like Miles is
too.
cool,
Me
but I like
too.
my OG.
Good, good. Keep it
All right,
classy.
so let's get this interview started because I do have a couple of questions. And this is the first episode of the Creative Podcast where I haven't even done the intro. So, what's up, Meisterville? Welcome to a unique episode of the Creative Podcast with my guest, Miss Fall Paladin, who has graced us with her time. It is so cool. And
Well,
yeah,
it is an
let's
honor to be here. First of all, that you would bless me with your creative podcast. Very wide. I don't know if not very wide. I'm sorry. Anything I you have blessed me just to be in this. It's an honor just to be on this podcast with you. So thank you for reaching out and letting me be here.
No, no. Well, first, thank you for responding. First, thank you for responding and everything.
You're
And
not gonna
thank you for
outthank me.
promoting
First of all, you're not gonna outthank me. Just saying that.
it. Challenge accepted.
This guy.
She was like Mortal Kombat of gratitude or something. Friendship. Anyway,
Friendship.
so one thing I've always been curious about with you because I've been following you for a minute now. I wanted to know about when you started gaming. Like, what was your first encounter with gaming?
Yeah, my first encounter, to be technical, Barbie. But I
Barbie
know
had a
that's not
video
cool
game?
to say. But after that, it was like Zombies Ate My Neighbor, and then after that was like like online games at the library, like
Oh,
RuneScape, Neopets. Yeah, but it wasn't. I primarily watched my brother play video games, and I dabbled in some games like Tekken, but I didn't consider myself a gamer until recently because I felt like I was just kind of playing
mm.
around with it as a kid. Never really stuck with it, and it's a huge learning curve. If you don't practice gaming like from as a child to your teenage years, trying to do this as a grown ass adult is difficult. I'm just saying.
Yeah, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Were you a
What
button
was your
masher on
first
Tekken?
game?
Oh, okay. Let's see. My first game. My first game. Ooh. What was my first game? I think it was PlayStation 2. Hey, Nerds of Hip Hop, what's up, man? I think it was PlayStation 2, and I think it was Tekken 4. I think that might have been my first game. Yeah, Tekken 4 was my first game. And my
Tekken is
sister
so much
was, but
different now, just so you know. Have you played the recent Tekken? It's not the
I didn't
same.
like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like
Why didn't you
it.
like it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
I mean, I think for me, I hate it when game companies take out characters that I've always played with. Like Lei Wulong. Hey, what's goody, what's goody? Yeah, Lei Wulong was my guy, and then he was just gone, and then he became DLC. And then also, like, they kept on reducing, like, or not reducing, they kept on just changing the game modes. And then eventually arcade mode, like, was not what it used to be. And the story modes got more and more bare. And I was just like, but this is not my, yeah, hashtag not my Tekken.
It is not the same Tekken at all. Not at
And
all.
also, like, now that I get older, like, that stupid thing of logic comes into your head. I mean, it's Tekken. I don't know why I'm thinking of logic, but like they did things like where what's this? Hihachi fights Akuma, and I'm a Street Fighter dude through and through. So I'm just like, how is Hihachi fighting Akuma? He should be dead, and Hihachi's fight is surviving things he shouldn't survive. And I was like, all right,
It's not supposed
okay.
to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense.
I know, but sometimes also because I write comic book scripts from time to time, and I'm trying to get a writer's job. I like to think about logic and stuff like that, especially from a reader's perspective. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, ugh, okay.
No, I get it. I approach things from a story lens as well. Like, I mean, I know it's not the most glamorous thing to say that you watched your other people play video games, but that's what people do nowadays on Twitch. And so
Yeah.
I think it's an honor just to be a streamer and be able to be in the front seat now, like, and have people watch me,
Mm.
because for so long, what intrigued me about video games was the story. So I did like Tekken story. I also like Final Fantasy story. I like Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm very familiar with all the different story arcs. I'm not like geeking hard over everything, because I think that comics is a little bit more ready, like accessible, to the general
Mm.
public, especially nowadays. But it was it was like the thing to do, on Saturday morning to watch comics, and it was just something special.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
read comics, so my comic knowledge is all animated cartoons. Like, that's it.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
not
Do you read
deep
them
at
now?
all. Mm-mm. Huh?
Do you read them now? Do you read them
I
now?
So the comic that I want to read right now. So I'm rewatching all the animated cartoons that I loved here. So I just finished Spider-Man, and now I'm watching X-Men, and I'm on season 3 of X-Men. I love it. But the comic that I want to I want to read is Wonder Woman story. I know
Mm.
nobody's really talking about it, but I have this essential guide to Wonder Woman. It was just a magazine. I don't read. I don't read anymore, guys. I'm sorry. It sucks because I was such a nerd back in the day. I used to live in the library, so it's actually very hard for me to say that I don't read anymore. I mainly listen, I watch, but Wonder Woman's story actually kind of intrigues me. I don't like her. I mean, I didn't like her movies. I'm I'm one of the few that don't like any of her movies, but I think her comic
Ooh.
story is interesting.
Controversies.
Huh?
Controversies.
Controversy.
So you didn't like number one?
Nah, I don't like it. And
I can see why.
and Harley Quinn doesn't have a comic, for instance, but I liked her Suicide Squad part, but I don't like her movies. It's just weird. So I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
dude.
like, just because I fawn over characters doesn't mean, like, I'm a fawn over their work, like their movies and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
did
No,
like her. I think Wonder Woman's
I
story
totally
is
get that.
interesting. Huh?
I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah.
Have you read
I
the
mean, for
like most
me,
of
I
the
haven't
second
seen the
grade.
second one.
Huh?
Sorry?
We're talking
Damn it.
over each
Now I
other.
sound old. Hello?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go
No,
first.
you go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying is that I saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one. I heard the second one has been getting bad reviews. I mean, not that I'm a review guy like that. I'll watch something for myself, so I'm still planning to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But the first one, the first half was okay. It's just at the end when she jacks that move from Goku, because I'm that guy who said she stole that from Goku, because Steve blows up and she goes Super Saiyan. I was like, hey, I've seen this before.
They do that with a lot of different stories, though. They borrow from everywhere, and I think that that's what makes it special. Like stories in general are special because like there's nothing new under the sun, you know. But that's cool that you peeped that. I don't know everybody did, you know. I did peep it certainly, and I did watch. Although my brother he used to draw Dragon Ball Z characters, I didn't get into Dragon Ball Z, but that's something I would like to watch as an adult because everybody talks about Dragon Ball Z. So and it's part of a somebody broke it down where it was interesting. Like they said, it's really true to our community, especially Black community. Just to break it down.
Yeah. No, hey, black people fell in love hard with Dragon Ball Z. I think it was just also like with this me being on YouTube for a couple of years and all of that stuff. I definitely started to notice a trend with comic books, and it's led me to make a lot of videos that some people like, some people really don't like,
Like what?
and oh yeah, like recently I made a video called I was talking about the Black Batman, basically from DC Future State, and I
I
was
have
just
not
posing the
seen that.
question. Oh yeah, you should probably just do some research on it. So DC Future State, the next Batman, yeah, the next Batman, the next Batman is black. The next Batman is black. So I made a video asking just the community and everybody in general, is this progression? Is this good? Is this bad? In my personal opinion, I don't think it's bad, but I do see a pattern where they keep using a legacy character instead of using an original one. And I think one of the reasons why black people in general, black people especially, gravitated towards Dragon Ball Z and anime and everything is because it was the first time seeing a non-white lead do something in somewhere. Like we were always just used to seeing these white dudes being heroic, and it was just like, oh, cool. There's somebody else who's not white doing things.
Yeah.
Let's watch them. And that's my theory as to why anime is so big with the black community, because you wanted to see something else. And I think with comic books, they always get wrapped up into staying the same. Like they'll always play around with the same ideas. Like you get 16 versions of Batman, or you get, what if Batman was a baby and he solves crimes as a baby in a diaper and everything, or something like that. Or they always play around with the same idea, or a different version of Bruce Wayne instead of introducing something new completely. So I think that's why black people fell in love hard with anime.
I got you on that. There's some controversy about the new Batman. Um, there's a DC animated original film that just came out this month called Batman Soul of the Dragon. Have you seen it?
No, I saw the trailer for it. I saw the trailer for it, but I haven't seen it. Like I saw the dude who looks like Bushido Brown.
Yeah, that's an
Chad
awesome.
Boogie.
I like that though. I like that. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say that Batman isn't the lead really in the film like that. It's gonna be
Mm,
somebody else, and it's not a white man. So that's nice to see.
mm.
But I mean, it's still a Batman
Yeah.
film because you know I could break it down. I'm
His
not
name is
gonna
there.
sit here, but it's still a Batman film because come on now, like he ends up being Batman. Like in his own special way, and his own in little in subtle ways. And I don't think people have appreciated him in that film in the way that I appreciated him. The brooding, the darkness, the
Mm.
philosophy, the bravery. But yeah, I stand for Batman. I love Batman. But I did not know that there was a Batman, a black man, Batman.
Yeah. You should. Everybody should. You can go check it out. Again, like I think for me, the thing is that I don't want to take anything away from anybody, and it's cool. Like if you like it, like it's cool. It's really cool. But like for me, I personally hold companies to task. I personally hold companies to task where I'm just like, hey,
Come up
look,
with
you
something.
have to do
Yeah.
some new stuff. You have to do some new stuff,
I
and
like
for me also, I'm just like,
do you know
what up?
what's your favorite black superheroes? Like besides, of course the obvious Black Panther, but um
Oh,
who
I can name a few. I can name a
I
few.
drop it. Drop it.
Icon. All
Who?
right, let's go. Icon, love Icon, and
Icon.
Rocket. Yeah, that's if you like. I don't know if you're getting into comic books like that, but if you're definitely getting into comic books, definitely check out Milestone Comics. Okay. Hey, Misty Lee 93. Yeah, definitely check out Milestone Comics. So Milestone Comics was this DC, no, not DC. It was actually an independent house. If you ever watched Static Shock the cartoon, the
Yes.
Static Shock the cartoon, yes. So the guys who created that created this comic book house called Milestone Comics, where it was basically a house that represented everybody that wasn't represented in comic books. So as much as it was looked at as a black comic book company, it wasn't. I mean, they had transgender, I think, characters in there. They had gay characters in there, and obviously the black characters in there as well, and it was basically about representing everybody that was not represented at the time. And the God, Dwayne McDuffie, one of the best creators ever. He did some of the best Justice League episodes and some of the best stuff, right? So yeah, him and Dennis Cowan and a bunch of other guys, they got together, they made this, and they created a bunch of characters like Static, because Static is his creation. They created Icon, who's like Black Superman, except he's his own person as well, which was really cool, and I love his costume. And they created Rocket, who was, I think, in my recent memory, the first single mom superhero I've ever seen. So she was a legitimate single mom in the comic book, which I thought was very interesting.
You
And then
said
they created.
was it Rocket and
Sorry,
Spider-Man?
sorry, say again.
Was it Rocket and Spider-Man as well?
Yeah, there was the skateboarder. There was the skateboarder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember him. I remember. Yeah, but this Rocket is better. She will whoop his ass.
So it's a she in this other
Yeah, it's
cover
a
story,
she.
but Rocket's a male in Spider-Man. Okay, gotcha. Because I was confused.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
a
like,
she.
wait a minute. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
they always put him on a skateboard to make him swaggy.
But
Static,
I like that skateboard though.
Rocket. I know, but I'm curious about that. Anyways, moving on. We could
Yeah,
rip
so
on this all
I
day
would
long.
just say if you're getting into comic books, just try it out. I think it would be really good.
My thing is okay. My thing is I get overwhelmed at the amount of choices, and that is my problem with anime, especially. Is like I just hopped off of somebody's live today, and they were talking like, "What's your favorite anime?" And the person just went through a list, and that is the general synopsis. Is like you really can't pick one anime, and so I have to, even within my personal loves of comic book animations, is to just focus on one at a time, and I don't even binge watch. Like I can't do that because you have to also create, not just consume. So right now I'm on this lane where I'm focusing a lot on female characters, and but also I'm not like a big rah feminist. Like even in the new Batman movie, they had Lady Shiva saying some stuff that was unnecessary in my opinion, because she already had her respect. And so I just don't I that's my problem with the Wonder Woman films. And it's just like, why can't we just have a strong female character without her saying something explicitly that says I am the representation of female empowerment? Like they don't do this on male characters. I feel like they don't need to say it like out loud. It's just, it's understated. It's known. It is fact. We are the bosses. But anyways, yeah. Anyways,
That is interesting.
so
That is
I want to focus
interesting.
on. Yeah, I think it starts with Wonder Woman. You know, that's why I want to go into the Wonder Woman comics sphere. But then also, I'm curious about, like, in X-Men, they have all these little known characters that, you know, intrigue me. And so I wouldn't mind digging further into those type of stories. Is who are the female comic book characters that don't get talked about, the untold stories, you know, and why aren't they talked about? Anyway,
Definitely check out
that's another mission. That's a side mission beyond the gaming, though.
side quest.
Right.
Side quest. So yeah, but
Right.
that is
I have a tendency to get caught up on side quests. You ever be on a game and instead of tackling the story, you over here playing around with the map, sending out, you know what I mean? Like, the side quest will distract you.
oh yeah, dude. Especially when the game is big. Oh, when the game is big, yeah, like side because I have ADHD, so I definitely get distracted a lot.
Miss Tilly says, showing love, it's been so long. Oh, thanks, Miss Tilly. Thanks for stopping by.
Yay, thank you, thank you. Always do the in this game, I always do the side quest first. All right, so I gotta ask you another question. All right, what is the hardest game you've played so far? What's the hardest game you've played so far? What's the game where you're just like, okay, this is you, yo? Because I'll tell you which games I've been playing recently that have been really laying the smackers down on me personally.
So today is actually National Puzzles Day. Puzzles games, I can't. They're not fun to me. And I actually blocked out the memory of a game that I played. I can't even recall it anymore, the name of it. It's two robots that have to basically work together, and they use physics like vectors and things like that to get through.
Ah, hell no.
I forgot what the name of it is though. That bothers me, but Portal. I was playing Portal 2. Have you heard of that game?
Oh,
But
yeah, Portal, yeah, yeah.
but it's the challenges also, like, even though it's difficult, I still want to tackle puzzle type games. So I'm gonna make it my mission to add that to my collection because I ultimately want to be a variety gamer. When I first started out gaming, I thought I was gonna be a retro gamer. Similar to you, I like to keep it OG, you know. But it's good to expand your horizons, and you can become outdated very soon, you know, if you just focus on sticking to one lane. So yeah, what about you? So puzzle games are really difficult. I'm also working on another game that is challenging because of the map. I'm not I have poor directional skills.
Join
Anyway,
the club. I get lost all the time. Right now, actually, because I don't stream on Twitch. I do want to do that one day. It's just right now I don't have the facilities to do that. Hopefully, one day soon. So I game on YouTube mostly. And right now, what was kicking my ass was Final Fantasy, because some of those boss fights are ridiculous, and they always like change. Like Final Fantasy has this thing where they just change the level, or like the bad guys they one up the level or whatever it is, and you're just like, I just spent all of my items getting you down to this level, and then all of a sudden he just whips out special moves, and I'm just like, wait, what was this?
and then you got to keep going and going just to beat the same. Oh my God, I know exactly how that feels.
And you can spend an hour on one boss. Like just one boss can be an hour trying to defeat this thing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I love the game. I love the game a lot. I love the game a lot. It has been a lot of fun, but at the same time I'm just like, these bosses are ridiculous. Like this is reminding me of PlayStation.
You said what?
This is reminding me of like PlayStation 2 bosses, because PlayStation 2 games they punished you. I remember those games used to punish you. Oh my gosh. You'd
I
be
think
sitting there for 6 hours.
like, okay, so I started out my streaming journey with Streets of Rage 4, but the earlier Streets of Rage, like 1 through 3, are definitely harder. Definitely. The arcade style, everything. Arcade culture in general is going to be a little bit more difficult than what we got to experience currently. And then also, we didn't have the luxury of reviewing other people's content nowadays, or we're like, people be watching other gameplay just to get better, you know, cheat codes. Back in the day, you just had to figure that stuff on your own. So
Yeah, yeah. I miss cheat codes though. Cheat codes used to be so much fun. Like big head mode and what else was like a weird cheat code? Like my favorite cheat codes were from GTA. Those are my favorite cheat codes because you could do whatever you wanted.
Miss Tilly says Final Fantasy games are pretty hard. PS2 games take so much skill. Yo, there's a whole like, what is up with this like earlier generation for PlayStations? Because there's a whole community for that, like people who play these PS3 and PS2. I
Oh
don't know what's
man,
going
like
on.
I think that just defined a generation because those consoles they did numbers. Like I'm not anti Xbox because I never took part in the console wars, which is some of the dumbest. Console wars were ridiculous. Console wars were so dumb. But anyway, like for me, I grew up on PlayStation. Like I grew up on PlayStation and had so many good games. And but every game was difficult. That was the thing. It didn't matter which genre you jumped to, whether it was third person, first person, fighter, everything was really, really, really hard. So I think that's the thing is that nowadays a lot of games, like not all of them, but a lot of games do babysit you. Like they do say, okay, we're gonna hold your hand here and we're gonna take you through there and we're gonna show you this and that and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I
And
appreciate a
then
little
you
bit
have
of
to
babysitting. I'm just gonna say, and Miss Teely, I think the TV channel you're talking about, isn't it G4? Wasn't that the TV channel that focused on just games? And there was like Game Informer magazines. I remember seeing all that stuff, but it was like it's not as readily accessible. But
mm,
I never
if
used to
you
see
missed it, you
those.
missed it.
You say what?
I said if you missed it, you missed it. Because especially this side, they did have like a gaming channel thing, but it only came on a specific time. And if you didn't catch it, you didn't catch it.
Right, thirsty man. You had to be running home. That was cool
Oh
though.
my gosh. Oh my.
Those are the days. GPS.
Yeah, I do kind of miss that. I do kind of miss that. Like, so yeah, yeah. So another question that I actually had for you, another question that I actually had for you is, being a female streamer, because I've seen a lot of this stuff. Like, I've seen it a lot unfairly, and I've been fighting with people online forever. I'm such a rebel online. Like, I'm part of the Rebel Alliance. So I've been fighting forever with dudes online because like I always get irritated when like gamers or whatever will be like, oh, women they're just gaming and making money because they're pretty or whatever. And I was like, first off, you're not gonna pay her bills. Second of all, you use what you got. Okay, some of us are funny, some of us are, you use what you got. So it has being a female streamer been, like, I know it's been a great experience, but has it also just been like slightly those irritating messages that creep up and all of that stuff, and how do you deal with that?
You know what? You're the second person to ask me this. Battle Junkies asked me in his interview as well. Because his wife is thinking about being a cosplayer. And I don't know if I could prepare anybody for any of the type of comments they're gonna receive. But I would say that how do you handle it? I mean, I take the same mindset that you do. It's like, it's basically the understanding and awareness that everybody's going to use their gifts to the best of their abilities. And this is kind of like one of your strengths, you know. So the fact that somebody recognizes that you are attractive and you are a woman, and that gives you a leg up, instead of like shining away from it. Sometimes before, I used to feel uncomfortable about it. Like, maybe I should just, you know, downplay, you know, not take. I used to be shy about even posting pictures of myself on Instagram, and Nerds and Hip Hop actually encouraged me. He was like, you would go much further if you post pictures of you. And then when I post pictures of me, I had somebody say, you post pictures of yourself too much, and you know, and you got more views because, you know, you look more attractive and stuff. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? If I don't post it, you know, why am I trying to hide what I look like? You know, like just because somebody feels uncomfortable by your strength. And there have been literal wars that have been fought for beauty. The Odyssey and Helena Troy.
I mean,
Anyways,
that comment has got me
I just
doing the
wanted to
Timon
make it
neck.
fun.
I'll do the Timon
You
neck
said
from
what?
Timon and Pumbaa like that.
Huh?
I'm doing the Timon neck from Timon and Pumbaa. You know what Timon would be like? His neck just come up like that, and I was like really,
You
really,
just don't. I
like
wouldn't
with
shy
this.
away from it. Embrace
Yeah,
it. You're attractive. Do it.
thank
That
you,
like because
thank you.
I used to cover it up. I used to feel like uncomfortable, and the more hate I receive, the better, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Because it makes me feel like, well, dang, somebody noticed that you are, you're gaining views or you're gaining some kind of edge in some capacity. If they're not saying anything at all, that means I'm doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? I need to get haters, in order for me to. You don't need haters, but it makes me feel like I'm being more true to myself and embracing my gifts. Don't shy away from it. And then just know that the more you are true to yourself, the more you're going to get haters, because not everybody's going to be for you. And then also focusing on the positive. I hate this question too, because in some aspect, I'm not coming at you, but I hate this question in some aspect because like we focus on the negativity sometimes, or the lack of growth, and then forget that we have people who are standing for you, and like you said, the rebellious crowd, like Mac of all games is one of the people who just posted about like men should stop, you know, going into women's DMs and treating gamers like this is a online dating club. Like it's people like that really encourage me to like feel like, oh, okay, well, we can be cute and game. You know, we don't have to like put on a hoodie and cover up our face like we're, or a hijab or something, like, you know, just to be able to be accepted. And we don't have to push how strong of a gamer we are, because there are guy gamers who aren't strong gamers and still
Oh,
win
I
because
know
of
so many
personality.
trash guy gamers.
Huh?
I know so many trash guy gamers. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you, so I don't feel like I need to overcompensate either, about the strength of my gameplay. Like, oh, I'm the best at this, and I used to feel like that. Like I even hosted a tournament, and I felt like I needed to win this tournament for all women, and so that they know that, you know, it's not just looks and, you know, personality that wins everything, but like honestly, if you have knowledge or you have your personality or if your voice is hella sexy and soothing or something, all those things should be touted. Use it, you know, like, and especially as Black people, like we need to have some more representation on Twitch. So if it's a woman, then it's a woman, and she's gonna carry some other, you know, Black people as well, like LGBTQ Black people, male Black gamers. You know, we're bringing our race. You know, like I feel like we should talk about our race too. Like a Black female gamer is helping Black guys as well, if she's the face of Twitch, you know, on the Discoverable channel. Now I haven't actually received too much, like I haven't had anybody call me an N-word yet, and I heard that that was something that is ever present in the Twitch community. And I had somebody help me and just block. I didn't know you had to block this out of your channel. Like you had to literally put it in your night mod to say like this is out. Twitch should automatically make that. Why are they banning simp, but they're not banning the N-word? Or maybe they are.
Simp is bad?
Yeah, it's worth taking your channel down if you use the word simp in a channel. But N-word, I don't know.
Wait.
Yeah, yeah, there's certain words in there that you just can't say. And then, yeah, I don't know. Oh, we're getting a lot of
How?
conversation here. They said if you got haters, then
So,
you made it. And they
nah.
said no matter what, when you have both supporters and haters, you're always going to grab attention, and that works in your favor. Hey, the thumbs down on your YouTube videos, does that help your channel? I mean, if you
Yeah,
get
it
more
does.
likes, of course, like you don't want to have all thumbs down, but like
Oh, no, no,
just
no.
engagement.
With
Yeah, like
YouTube, they look at engagement. So dislikes, likes are all the same. So they'll push a video, but dislikes and likes are all the same. For me, YouTube, I like, I'm one person that I don't like personally for me, because I don't tell anybody how to react to certain situations. But personally for me, I get more mad at situations than I do at words. So I've been called lots and lots. Like I don't know if I told you about this. No, I don't think I have, and I haven't spoken about the story a lot because like what's with the Black Panther movie, interesting story. So the movie came out, a huge success, loved it, everything, right? But there was this guy online called Red Pill. So Red Pill endeavored to make a series of videos on YouTube about how was this Black Panther was the most racist movie ever created. His words. So I took issue with that. I really got upset. And I made a whole 20-minute video response for each of his videos. And I basically took all of his videos and saw and showed him how he contradicted himself and showed the world how he contradicted himself. Because he would be saying things like, Martin Luther King never said, and I was like, dude, um, no, just no, no. And you know what he looked like? You know what he looked like? He looks like the Monopoly Man and Wolverine had a baby. That's what he looks like. So, yeah, he had a whole series and everything, and I basically made a whole YouTube video just counter arguing every point that he ever had. And I broke him down from top to bottom. Like after you watch his videos and after you watch mine, which don't watch his videos, because in my videos I play his videos as well to to show his points and everything. Like afterwards, his whole community came for me, and they called me every racist slur under the sun. Like they were coming up with new ones on the spot. I was like, wow, never heard that one before. But for
ignorant.
me, it didn't bother me. Like it really didn't bother me. I was just like, oh, so that's all you guys can do. None of you can actually answer my video. You can just call me a bunch of racist slurs, which I don't have to see this. Like you guys act like I have to go down in my comments. Like I really don't.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like I can, yeah. So I mean, for me, I don't get bothered by that so much. But it's weird because when it happens to somebody else, that's when I get pissed. Like
right.
if I'm watching, yeah, like if I'm watching your stream or whatever, and somebody comes in and they call you the N word, I'm gonna take issue with that. Or if you're on IG live and somebody's coming, I'm gonna take issue with that personally because I'm like, for me, I don't care, but it does bother me when it happens to other black people because I'm just like, no, 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 sir, no, no, we're not. This is what we're not going to do today is.
I don't think I have
So
as much
yeah, that's that.
problems with the girl gamer thing because I've come to expect it almost because I used to be in the technology field and I used to hear all that stuff about girls in general. So I think it's kind of sad to say, but I'm almost used to it. I think I take more issue about, like you said, the community. So like a lot of the people who are in my community are beginner streamers. And so like I'm protective about who gets to become a part of that community, who gets to be, who I mention and things like that because and I've had to actually block a couple people because I'm like I don't even want to be associated and I don't want you to be associated because then my community is the type to embrace you. Like they'll tune into your channel and then I love seeing that like someone else will refer another person and so I just don't want it to come back to say like, well, you were friends with like people will use your influence even in your channel. You may think that you have like a small amount, a small circle, but your circle is there's bigger rings outside of that, and so I'm really considerate about the influence, even if it's just one person, that'll rot it, with just negative mindset, and that can take place even within our own like brothers and sisters. Like if they're like negative about themselves, that'll bring the vibe down. I'm really focused on
Mm,
positivity more than anything, but you got to address the negativity, and I'm not going to say like it doesn't affect me to the point where I literally just say, I'm not even going to deal with it. Block. Use that strong block hand,
Yeah.
folks. And
The
don't
pin
even
friend is
mention
wrong.
the YouTuber because you just gave him some shine.
Oh no! Well, nobody's gonna. Well, for one, I don't think anybody's gonna check him out, and for two, if they do, they're not gonna stay long. That dude is nuts. I was like, because I mean, for me, we were arguing about a fake comic book character at the end of the day, and I mean, like, a lot of people were doing that, where it's like, Wakanda doesn't make sense as a country or whatever. And it's like, you know what, Hogwarts doesn't make sense as a school. So, how does
Don't
anybody
talk about
study?
the
It
Hogwarts
always
crowd. I'm part of the Hogwarts. I said I was a big nerd.
no.
I read the Harry Potter series. So you got.
Well, no, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just like, you can't tell me that Wakanda is a problematic thing and then Hogwarts is fine. I was just like, you can't,
Yeah,
like,
you're right about
let's
that.
calm down. It's worlds of fiction. Let's enjoy what we enjoy, and don't try to come at me with intellectual, conversations and whatever, trying to be slick. Because I think for me, personally, I prefer when it's head up. I prefer when people are straight up with me, because then I know how to deal with you, versus this, oh, I'm just philosophizing. It's like, nah, dude, you're trying to be slick racist. That's what you're trying to be.
That's true. Kevin said Ravenclaw. I'm sorry.
uh,
The reason
no,
why
I do like my what's this? I do like oh, hey, Navy Montel is here. Hey, I do like Harry Potter. I do like Harry Potter. Like what's this?
right, we
I'm
gotta
not
put a
like against
disclaimer.
Harry Potter or whatever. Sorry?
You said you gotta put a disclaimer. I am not coming for the Harry Potter community. I love Harry Potter. Okay, prove it. Which school? I mean, what are you? In the Sorting Hat, where would you be placed? Slytherin,
Me,
Ravenclaw,
me.
Gryffindor,
I might be
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
I knew you were gonna say Hufflepuff. Okay, interesting. Why Hufflepuff?
I don't know. Like, what's this? Like, I mean, because I'm a huge softie, I think. Like, I really think, like, what's this? As much as I would like to be that adventurer or whatever, like, I think I'm a huge, huge softie. So they might just sort me into Hufflepuff, or like Gryffindor, I guess, based on the situation. Like, cause I can be from the House of Gryffindor sometimes, but yeah, I think most likely Hufflepuff. You?
That's so funny. You're like, I could be the Hufflepuff. I mean, this got so like deep. It's like I could be there and sometimes. Like, what times are you in Gryffindor's house? I'm curious, but we don't have to go too deep. Oh no, I was
No.
gonna say I always feel like, okay, so I'm a Libra as a astrology, but I feel like the whole Harry Potter series, the houses represent kind of like their version of astrology. So I feel like I'm always balancing the scales between um, villain and heroine, So like I'm either the Slytherin kind or the Gryffindor, depending on where you take me, basically. Sometimes I'm I would love to be the sweet, caring, like always like lovable character, but sometimes I be snapping, and I'm not gonna lie, I snap sometimes to the Slytherin side. But it's not
That shocked me.
huh?
That
And
shocked me. Like, you would.
I also love Harley Quinn. I loved Harley Quinn. I can't even talk right now. Harley Quinn since the animated cartoons, and so that she's a villain. You know what I'm saying? But she's a silly villain. She's not even like serious.
Oh, that's until she cleaves your face in with a mallet. But anyway.
I know. She's acrobatic with it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that about you. Like,
No
for
one
me, I
does.
thought you were like,
That's a good thing.
yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good
Miss
thing. That
Judy
is
says
so
she can see
undercover.
Slytherin. She knows. Only certain people know. Okay. So we talked comics. We talked. I didn't even know. Okay, so when is this comic series? Can you talk about the comic thing? You said you're writing a
Okay.
comic book.
Yeah, I can. That is not a problem for me.
Is it something
So
like a
I'm
long-term
trying.
thing? long term?
Well, I'm trying to make a choice right now. So I have my own comic series that I'm working on called it's like two series. So one is called Vendetta because I'm still writing the script for her, and then the other one is Neon Wave, which is a character I've been working on for about 3 years now. So I'm gonna re-release the teaser for Neon Wave because I also shot a teaser because I'm trying to get it to be a TV series as well, which has been
Oh,
yeah, it's been a pretty hectic. It's been a pretty hectic ride. And then right now I'm trying to write for Black Sands comic books. So Black Sands has a competition, and I submitted 3 stories. So I'm hoping one of my stories gets picked up, and then I can write for them as well. Because I've always been a writer. I've always wanted to write stuff and whatever ever since I was a kid. And I love my imagination is nuts. So I love coming up with crazy, fantastic things. Like I was never that dude who paid attention in school. I was always like doodling in the back, or I'm like, what if Goku got the powers of Spider-Man, or like weird stuff like that. Like I was always just crazy, crazy, crazy imaginative. So I'm hoping to get that talent to pay me for something, and then I also want to get into acting and everything as well. So that's basically like I started YouTube for that basically. Because funny story, me creating superheroes only happened because one day me and this dude were going back and forth about black characters in comic books, and I was just like, we need some more. Like, why are we not getting some more? And eventually he got so mad and he was like, you know what? If you don't like it, why don't you make your own? And I was like, you know what? I will. There we go. And we're back.
you were inviting the wrong person. Oh my gosh.
No, like I think the thing is that her name kind of showed up right underneath yours. So I clicked on it and IG was like, no, I don't want to hear from Fall now. We're gonna get Vanessa in here. What?
Vanessa, you should get a chance another time. I'm sure.
Yeah. No. Vanessa's time is not now. Vanessa's time is not now. All right, so we gotta start. Okay, we talked a lot of stuff, but we gotta start talking some top fives. And when I say top five, it's just off of your head. It's not like it's a definitive list or whatever, because everybody
This
hears
sounds
that and they're like,
serious.
yeah. And for me, when I do my list, sometimes I even have ties. So I'll explain how that goes. But basically, we exchange top fives. So I gotta know your top five cartoons. If you want me to start, I'll start. But if you want to start, you can go ahead. But I gotta hear your top five cartoons.
You start. Let me hear.
All right. Okay. Cool. So number five is going to be Danny Phantom from Butch Hartman, because I really loved Danny Phantom. That was man, that was so awesome. I don't know if you saw it. Do 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 do. He's a phantom.
I do know. That's a good one.
Ah man, I know that song. I know that theme song back and forth. It's insane.
These are
Uh,
90s classic cartoons, right? 90s, like
well,
Broadway.
90s, 2000s, 90s, 2000s, 90s, 2000s. Actually, number four is Spider-Man the animated series. But I kind of tie that with Spectacular Spider-Man. So like those two Spider-Man series is my favorite. Like Spectacular Spider-Man and the animated series.
And
But the animated series was my favorite theme song for Spider-Man forever. Like I love that do 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 do. Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. Anyway, sorry. I'm about to sing the whole thing. Yeah, the animated series from the '90s, Miss Steele. Yes, that was I grew up on that because South Africa. We used to do a lot of reruns because we used to get a lot of old stuff. Like we got the X-Men series and all of that stuff. So like my Saturday mornings was a bunch of '90s cartoons, which was really cool. I think. So yeah, that's gonna be number four, and then number three. Number three is a tough spot, but I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go. Right now, Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door. That was. I really loved Kid Next Door. What's this? That cartoon. It made my childhood fun, and I wanted to live in a treehouse because of it. Like I
I've
always
never
wanted a
seen Kids
treehouse
Next
like that.
Door. This is a new one.
Oh, you should check. No. Kid Next Door is, I think it's 2000s. Yeah, it's
2000.
2000s. Yeah,
I've never even heard Kid Next Door. Have you guys heard of it?
Yeah.
He knows
If you
it.
want a
Okay.
basic,
So I'm just okay,
yeah.
I'm just not even in it. All right, cool.
So if you want a basic premise, it's basically like a bunch of kids trying to do kid things and adults keep messing with it, but it's like heightened to a super spy level. So you get kids that have their own like tree house with their own gadgets and everything,
Oh.
and they like plan missions and stuff. Like today we want to go to the pool and we want to swim, and the adults are trying to stop them. Yeah, codename Kids Next Door is the full name. Codename Kids Next Door is the full name. Yeah, Kids Next Door was live, and the crazy thing is that it was also diverse. So you had black kids, you had Asian kids, you had a bunch of kids together, and they were all doing super spy stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. They go to the moon and it was nuts. But I love that cartoon. I love that cartoon. Okay. So where am I? Number two. Number two. There's so much to choose from, but number two, what I'm thinking of right now is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog was really
Yeah.
good. Courage the Cowardly Dog was really
I
good.
could not get into
And
that. I thought it was too dark for me. Dark and twisted.
it is like that. It is, but it's a really good cartoon. Like if you like, especially now, if being an adult, you should give it a chance. But yeah, it was messed up. I don't know how that made it to TV. I don't know how that made it to TV. Oh my gosh! Because I think about it now, but there's a lot of stuff like that. Like Johnny Bravo. How did Johnny Bravo get on TV?
Yeah.
Like, I think the only saving grace is that every woman in there was Xena Warrior Princess. Like every woman in there knew jujitsu and kung fu, and they just be messing up Johnny.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Johnny would holler at them, and they would fold him like a pretzel. Like Johnny Bravo, the cartoon had me thinking that every woman ever was an Amazon, which is why I never endeavored to be a creep. I was just like, I'm gonna try. If I try that, they're just going to like break my arm in 6 places. So I think I'm good. I think I'm going to be respectful.
Yes. Cartoon Network. Oh my gosh. Cartoon Network was like around like it's like the more mature version of cartoons, definitely. It was like we were leaning towards like we started with like Tom and Jerry simplistic type cartoons, and then we worked our way to like you said, Johnny Bravo was like damn near street harassment because they know we over here like as kids acting bad, snapping bras and stuff. Like so they wanted to teach us a little something, but in a funny way. But there were
Yeah.
like yeah, silliness.
But I mean, the old cartoons were also not so great. Like Tom and Jerry has a lot of racism. Like I didn't know that, but it's actually got a lot of.
Yeah, that's some history.
But
Yes.
I was watching it now, and I was like, wait a minute, why is Tom talking like a slave now? Why is he? What happened? Like he'd get blown up, and he'd be like, I don't know, dare do, no ma'am, no sir, ma'am, and I was like, wait, what? This is what I watched as a kid. Oh
Yeah,
my
who was the
gosh.
red guy, the devil, shaking his butt on the TV?
Oh, that's cow and chicken. Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how.
There was also a cow with udders on one of these.
Yeah, that was
What
that was cow, and she turned into a superhero that spoke Spanish.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no but lots of cartoons were wild. Lots of cartoons were wild. I mean, Total Drama Island was wild, and what like yo, that was yeah. No, Cartoon Network was the wild wild west. They did not
Super
care.
cow.
But I mean, a lot of oh, Super Cow. There we go, Super Cow. Yeah. But a lot of cartoons actually didn't care for a long time. I mean, Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew was horrible. What was that cartoon? Ugh.
All right,
Yeah.
so
So I just need to finish my list. I just need to finish my list. So number one. Oh, sorry.
no,
Were
go
you saying
ahead.
something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Cool. Number one, my number one cartoons were is two. My number ones were Static and Samurai Jack. That's my number one cartoons.
Samurai Jack.
Static and Samurai Jack were
Interesting.
those were my number ones.
And
I
static.
broke so many
Static
rulers. I broke so many
is a good
rulers.
one.
Yeah. Dude, and I love that intro and everything. Yeah, but I broke so many rules trying to be Samurai Jack, and I was trying to always do things with my hands. So yeah,
Too
those are my
funny. If the
cartoons.
cartoon makes you feel, if you feel like you're part of the cartoon, that they did their job, that's like epic.
So, what's your top five? What's your top five?
This is hard. I hate that we have to ask this. I would say, okay, so this is how I'm gonna approach it, just so you can get the mindset. Is mm, cartoons that shape me into the silly person I am today. That's going to be the top 5 cartoons, because to approach this as the top 5 in general is going to be hard. So
I'm with it. I'm with it. Meisterville, we do not have rules about these lists.
rules, must set the rules. I'm going to say, starting with the 5th one, is going to be Pinky and the Brain.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a
Oh,
good one. Well, I'm going to say that series, like, it's hard because you want to categorize this by channels almost. And so I think Pinky and the Brain from that channel just stood out. It's just, how did they even come up with this concept with lab rats, and just a silly one? And that is how Portal 2 kind of looks like. There's 2 robots. There's a chubby one, and then there's a skinny one. And part of the reason why I don't like Portal 2 is because I was Pinky in that scenario. So, okay. So the 4th one is going to be, so I'm going to mix some of the ones that I've been seeing recently. I think 4th one should be Harley Quinn. There's a recent Harley Quinn cartoon for adults, and it's sharp, it's witty, and everybody needs to see this Harley Quinn film. I mean, this Harley Quinn animated series. Yeah. I don't want to go into that one, but it's funny. Okay, number
yeah,
4.
I know about it.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes. It's really good.
Yeah, then it kind of gets a little crazy when with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. So I don't know about that. Number, but it's a legitimate thing. I guess Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn had a thing. Um, what number am I on? Number 3.
Yeah, number
Looks like a
3.
quiz.
Test your might.
Oh
Sorry.
no, I want to say if it was to be between number 3, I'm gonna say it's hard. I can't do this. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I would say Family Guy really pushed. That's more recent, but I think Family Guy really pushed the boundaries for cartoons. Like, they really say some off the wall stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that they can say that. I think we have a PC culture, and the fact that they set this through cartoons made it acceptable. But if it was not through a cartoon, we would not be listening to it. But
Ah, hell.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just gotta put them as number 3 because they are the edgiest cartoon I've seen. But not being too. This is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna say number 2 is gonna be
Remember,
Batman.
you can tie multiple cartoons together. Like I just did it myself. Like I tied
I'm
at
not
my
gonna do
number
that
one
to y'all.
character.
We're not. It's gonna be like 10. Um, number 2 is gonna be Batman. I was gonna put Amazing Spider-Man on here but I'm not gonna lie. I watched some of these animated cartoons, and I can't give it to. I watched the Amazing Spider-Man series with a big Spider-Man fan, and I just got to be the devil's advocate and not give it to him. Same thing with Superman and Batman. He's a big Superman fan, and so I will never give Superman the credit. So, anyways, I'm gonna say Batman. They did so many different versions of Batman, Batman Beyond, and et cetera, et cetera. Same thing they did with X-Men. They had the teenage version of X-Men, but I'm gonna go with Batman. Because the thing about him, I'll go into in depth with him. The thing about Batman is that he's human, and it's debatable whether he's a Superman. I mean, not a Superman, a superhero, because he doesn't have superpowers. And that's how I feel as a gamer. Is I feel like I'm just a regular girl, you know. But when I get the controller, that's like kind of like my cape. You know, we are a different
Mm-hmm.
person. But at the end of the day, it's been this argument of whether I'm a gamer or not in the beginning when I started my streaming career. Okay, so, and then number one is going to have to be The Simpsons. Now I'm going to drill down a little bit and say Krusty the Clown Show. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're going to say The Simpsons because it's just an open world cartoon that you just fall in love with all different types of characters. And I don't know who's your favorite character for Simpsons, but that's a big piece.
Bart, Bart, Bart.
You have your hat on backwards like Bart. And this is not going into the anime lane, by the way, because this should be a whole genre just for anime. Like your
Oh yeah, no, there is.
We're not going into it. I gotta eat dinner sometime. But I'm gonna just say the top 5 is number 1 has to be The Simpsons all-time character development, open world cartoon. Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man does do a good job with the cartoon, the characters.
That's a good list. That's a really, really good list. I wanted to get into it with you in anime, but seeing as you're saying that you gotta eat, because that was going to be my last question, because I saw the posters in the back.
When I'm hangry.
Yeah, no, I saw the posters in the back, and I saw Luffy and everything. So I was like, "Oh man, she's serious about this anime or whatever." But you know what? Let's go to the last question, and I think it's let's pertain it to YouTube, because I subscribed to your channel and whatever, and I was liking the energy that you were giving on.
Up there yet.
Yeah, yeah. I was just wondering, is that a plan in the future? Is Fallpaladin coming to YouTube?
Yeah. I am. I'm playing around. I just nodded my head, so silly. Yeah, I'm just learning video editing, and I've had multiple channels. And the fun thing about having different types of interests is the fact that you can play around with techniques. So I don't know. I'm still working on my content strategy, like my vision. And I'm doing a vision board party the end of this month to just set the stage on why I'm even doing any type of creation. I have the tendency to go all over the place. Like, you know, as an artist, like you want to be, you want to like make music, but then you also want to do a podcast. And then I want to interview people. And then I want to stream video games. And then I want to do tournaments and be a competitive gamer. And then, so I have a tendency to do all those things. And so I want to make sure that whatever content I create on YouTube gets me to where I need to go, and that they kind of intersect. So I have another YouTube channel that I've been producing videos on weekly that I can now use to my gaming channel, because I learned the editing style and stuff. So I'm using the tool called Filmora, which has been very helpful. Like, as far as just for beginners, people who don't know how to, there's a huge learning curve when it comes to video editing for me.
I mean, I've been editing videos for 3 years now, so yeah, Filmora is really good. I like Filmora a lot. Like that's what I'm using currently right now. And if you ever want to pick my brain anytime, just message me about YouTube. I'll give you tips or whatever. And if you ever want help with editing videos, I can do that too. That's not an issue. And yeah, no, that's really cool. It's really sorry.
My next video on YouTube is going to be coming out, is going to be the review on the Batman Soul of the Dragon. That's something I never really got into, is doing reaction videos or reviews. So that's like some kind of content that I'm playing around with. The other thing I need to do is create gaming clips. And my gaming clips, like you got to have I feel like you got to be a little funny. And so I'm doing a lot more observing as far as like, what do I find funny when I watch people's gaming clips? So I don't want to just throw out like an hour of my gameplay, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. What's the point of that? But what type of content would you like?
Some people like it. Some people like it. Like,
what
I mean,
would you like to see from me?
Well, I like to see. I don't know. I would like to see anything, honestly, because I saw some of your stuff for Twitch, because I follow you on Twitch as well, and it was really entertaining. It was really entertaining. So I think almost this. What I will say is, I don't know how Twitch works so much, because I've not been on Twitch. I might have to ask for like some tips on Twitch before I actually start Twitch, because I
No, just start.
haven't. Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
of course you can
That's
always ask me for tips, but I have the tendency to overanalyze, and so sometimes you just gotta start.
Oh no, I mean for me, I've never been the dude like especially with content, a lot of life stuff, I overanalyze content I've never really analyzed. Like I just put stuff out. Like for a long time, I used to my camera used to be like one of those potato cameras. It was bad, but I still put videos out and I was like, you know what? They'll watch them or they won't. I don't care. Or I do care, but you know, I'm not going to let that stop me. So starting is not my issue.
Okay.
I just think like trying to learn how Twitch works might be the thing that I need to spend some time with. But yeah, I would definitely like to see any of your gaming clips or whatever. So, and I will tell you for YouTube, because with YouTube, the thing is like, what's this? If you just put it out, somebody's gonna see it sometime. Somebody's gonna see something. I mean, on YouTube, there's legit painting channels where people paint walls and stuff like that. So there's no like specific rule or whatever it is, as long as you genuine with it and authentic, people are gonna enjoy it. And I think that you are super genuine and it's super enjoyable.
Oh,
And I
thank
love
you.
all of the content that you put out and all of that stuff. And I have a lot of fun watching you. So I'm definitely looking forward to your YouTube channel. And anybody who's from my side here, Meisterville, please make sure you follow this woman. She is amazing. Please make sure you follow this woman. You're not gonna regret it. You're not gonna regret it.
And I feel the same about you. Thank you for, pushing me to talk with you today. I had so much fun. Especially when we talked about the top five. I think honestly, you could host your own gaming show. Like for sure. Like the ranks and the battles and your imagination. And I was right. Before we started our interview, I said I was gonna learn more from you than I did from like I feel like I shared myself. So definitely, keep creating the content as well. And I will subscribe to your YouTube channel and see future interviews. So what else can we expect from your side of things in 2021? We're seeing
Oh,
interviews. What? The
yeah,
first
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the next thing, I guess, the next thing.
I definitely more interviews, and hopefully, if things go well, I'm planning a show called Geek Blasphemy. I'm planning a show called Geek Blasphemy. So basically, it's a bunch of people who are gonna get on here, and what's this? We're gonna put up like a quote or whatever, and or not a quote, like a thought, basically, and people kind of have to guess who said it, type of thing. So it's gonna be something that's very blasphemous in the geek community. So
Yeah.
something like Batman is overrated, is or someone will say that, and people will be like, "What?" And then it's like, "Who said it?" And then when you find out who you are, then you have to explain why you think that way. Because I got a couple of blasphemous things myself that I want to say, but I'm trying to like make it like a who done it mystery type of thing. So I
I
think
knew
that
it.
would be really that would be an
I knew
interesting
it.
show. So hopefully this year that'll come together, and then more comic book stuff, more skits and stuff, more podcasts, more interviews, just way more content and way more gaming content and all of that stuff. That's what I'm planning for my 2021. Yeah, that's just gonna be me. And you, more of the same because you already got a lot of fire stuff out there. What's 2021 looking like for Miss Fall Paladin?
Man, I'm like, I wish I had the imagination of yours. Geek Blasphemy. That's amazing. I don't even have anything I would say like fun like that. I think for the most part I'm just trying to do more co-ops, like just play with other gamers with different types of games because I have a tendency to just focus on like one game and just zero out and just be stuck in my own world or just consume a certain type of comic book, character and just geek over it. But I'm really looking to be more social. And so potentially in 2021, especially as things open up, I'm hoping to do more I hope we do in-person events and conventions and to get into cosplay. Like that would be the dream. Um, but yeah, I don't really have something for this quarter except for the reviews. I'm starting to review more animated films and figuring out which comic characters I want to spotlight, especially from female superheroes. So that's it. I mean, I don't feel like it's gonna
That's
be
great. That's great. That's great.
exciting,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
but
I want to see that.
I want to just kind of conclude with this a little bit too. Is, you know, I've never felt like my journey. I still feel like I'm beginning my journey, and that I'm really intrigued with any type of content that talks about being a student or learning or becoming, like, before superheroes were superheroes, who were they and how did they get there. So that's probably going to be more of my focus in 2021, is to share the overall, the genesis of and then I mean, it's not, the genesis is typically not exciting to people, but it hopefully will show like the purpose. What is the purpose of Fall Paladin? You know, what's my mission? What is who's the team? If I have a team, do you have a team? I don't know. Behind the scenes, that type of stuff. The bloopers, the realness, the wildness, the okay, sorry. I'm getting into it.
No, I love bloopers. That's why I was saying like, I love bloopers. I did skits just because I could, so I could have a blooper reel.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. On one of my channels, because I have 3 channels. So it's the gaming,
Hey.
it's the comic
Okay,
book
sorry.
content, and then it's my first channel. So my first channel, my oldest channel, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see you review stuff and everything, because I really dug your Batman reaction video. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Miss
Did
Full
you watch
Paladin
it?
is going to be doing in review. Yeah, I did. I did.
No, I said, did you watch the Batman interactive movie?
Oh, the what's this, the bat with multiple endings, the multiple endings one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw it. I saw it. It was a novel idea. I liked it.
See, and that's okay. I'm sorry, not, and I'm extending the interview, but I was gonna say that is something else. Like, okay, so if I put out a review, what do I want people to do? Go see it. And so you did it, so that makes me feel encouraged. So thank you for sharing that. Sorry.
No, thank you, and thank you again so much for responding. It's been so much fun talking to you. It has been a blast, in my personal opinion. Connectivity issues aside, and all of that good stuff. Do you have any last words for Meisterville before we close this out?
You said any last words for Meister who?
Meisterville, Meisterville.
You call your community Meisterville? That's amazing. All right, what up, Meisterville? Thank you so much for rocking with your girl. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. And if you guys ever are interested in seeing what type of content, I'm always on Twitch, Tuesdays through Thursdays, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, we're going to try to get this Genesis Fall Paladin up on YouTube for y'all. But more importantly, I just want to give your figurehead, your mayor of your town, of your ville, all the love and support, because you guys are rocking with the best interviewer right now in the land, the geeks, the comics, the cartoons. I'm excited for what's to come in 2021. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
And with that being said, me and Fall Paladin have to be out, Meisterville. Okay, peace, 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 peace.